Alright, I'm going to go ahead and get started. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so we're going to do something a little bit different today. We're going to start off with a little bit of weekly science news. So, most of you don't know that I graduated from Purdue with an engineering degree. And so I'm just going to kind of bring in a little bit of that science background that I had and just kind of incorporate into that stream because I feel like that's my passion and that's what I'm interested in. So I'm hoping that maybe I can shed some light on you guys. And so every week we're just going to do a new science topic, hopefully something that's more closer to home or something that's new, that's relevant, something that's interesting, something that will actually help you guys learn about what's going on in this world and what's going on in this life. So today we're going to talk about chlorine. And so for those of you who don't know, it's the 17th element, and it was discovered in 1774, and it's found all around us. It's in our table salt, it's in swimming pools, it's at the beach, it's in bleach, you know, that kind that we all drink. It's in disinfectants. Let's see, I have a list here. Paints, insecticide, but the list goes on. So what you guys might not know about it is that it's used a lot as a disinfectant, mainly in our water. So if you're on city water, that doesn't necessarily pertain to you, but if you're on well water, it doesn't really pertain to you. But if you're on city water, water is actually disinfected with chlorine. And so I have a little graphic here for you guys that I can pull up, show you what they do here. Okay, so you guys should be able to see this. So when they disinfect your water in the city, first they start out with this coagulation step, and they insert chemicals to kind of bring all the dirt and all the bad stuff together in clumps, and it just kind of falls out right here. And then after they do that, they filtrate it through all these filters, and then they go through a disinfectant phase. And this right here is where they add in the chlorine to your water. This is where they kill all the germs, as it says right here. And so this seems weird because, you know, when you're a kid and you're playing in the pool, all that chlorine, you drink all that water and you think it was chlorine, you start to throw up all that chlorine water. But really, in fact, it was just you drinking a bunch of water, because the amount of water or the amount of chlorine that's in the city water right here is almost the same as what's in your pool. It's about 1 to 4 parts per million of chlorine, and that's all it takes to kill bacteria. So when you're swimming in public pools or a hot tub in your backyard, it has about 1 to 4 parts per million chlorine in it. And actually you'll find that same amount in your water. So it's kind of weird to think that you're drinking bleach basically every day and that they clean your water with bleach. And so it seems bad, but actually when they started adding this in about 1807, virtually no one has gotten cholera, typhoid fever, or dysentery. So this is actually an amazing thing. This has helped eliminate a ton of diseases. So this is not a bad thing. But the downside of this is what happens after they disinfect the water, and this is called disinfection byproducts. And the problem with this is that the government doesn't regulate any of these chemicals. All of the byproducts that are created from the chlorine, from the filtration chemicals they add in, they create byproducts, and none of this is measured or regulated by the governments, and we really have no idea what it's doing. And so this is a problem. This is an issue about what's going on today. And so scientists today are trying to figure out how to measure these issues and the actual problems that they cause. And so we're going to call these disinfection byproducts DPBs. And so we're going to go over kind of this article that I found here. I think it's a pretty cool article. And so what scientists are doing today is they're looking at a method to find chemicals in drinking water. And so these DPBs, these disinfection byproducts, are what these scientists are trying to find. And so, like I just said, the statement is basically just saying that they use a bunch of chemicals to make sure drinking water is safe, such as chlorine, and that really the backside of this is that they form unregulated toxic byproducts. And so what they're doing today is they're making this new method to find organic electrophiles. So the scientist proposes casting a bigger net to capture a more diverse mix of chemicals in water samples. The reactivity-directed analysis can provide a broader readout of what's present in drinking water by targeting the largest class of toxic chemicals, organic electrophiles. So I just kind of want to bring this to light because most people probably don't know that there's chlorine in your water and that it's actually a good thing, and that the bad thing is actually what happens after the chlorine is added into the water. And so what scientists are doing today is they're doing this method to identify these chemicals so that the government can be able to regulate them and figure out what we can do to pull these byproducts out. And so some things that you can do today to help fix this issue is just filter your water at the point of use. Something as simple as a Brita filter, an under the sink filter, anything like this will actually pull out these organic electrophiles. So if you don't want to wait for these scientists and for the government to start regulating these things and for companies to start fixing it, you can just go ahead and fix it yourself. This solution is so easy. Anything, I don't even know how much, let's see how much a Brita costs. Brita. It's super cheap. 25 bucks for a huge one or $15 for a small one. So it's not like this is a huge deal. But the thing is, it affects so many people. Anybody who's on city water is going to be taking in these unregulated toxic byproducts. So I just wanted to bring that to you guys, and I hope you guys actually enjoyed that and learned a little bit from it. I know some of you may have been getting here a little later, but yeah, I thought that was pretty cool that we're actually doing something to kind of solve this issue. And so you guys need to let me know what you think about this talk. I really enjoyed researching it, but now I need some more ideas on what to do for next week. So if you guys want to let me know, you can DM me on Instagram, you can find me on Twitch or YouTube. Just leave me a comment and let me know what subject you want to go over next week, and I'll do some research and some studying, and we'll convene next week and figure out what we want to do. So thank you for coming to my TED Talk. All right.